Well, on Film4, director Julian Gilby talks about creating mountaintop tension in his new thriller, A Lonely Place to Die, one of the hits of this year's Film4 Fright Fest.
Hey guys! I heard something!
We need to report a kidnapping and 3 murders.
It's our responsibility now. We've got to get help. We've got to get her off these mountains as soon as possible.
Anna!
I studied at Napier University in Edinburgh through the 90s, and I always used, and we were like, you know, making student films, running around Edinburgh and all of that. But we'd also go up into the mountains a lot. And you know, once you go up there, you kind of take a mental note. Right, okay, I'm going to have to come back here one day and make a movie.
Right, can you get my camera up, please?
Say it.
Come on, you dirty
Don't
dog.
take a picture of me.
Give us a smile. I'm sure there's a pretty face under that frown somewhere.
We were always going to structure it as if you or I were the mountaineers, the guys up there on holiday. It was always going to be a kidnap. It was always going to involve money. It was a transaction. And, of course, if you take somebody's child, you know, then you've got another sort of story element coming in. So we kind of really loved the fact that throughout the movie, we were going to bring new characters in. We were going to turn a few things on their head. We were going to have a couple of red herrings. But it was one of those movies where, you know, you have too much coffee and you're sitting there and you start having a lot of fun and start going, oh, and what if we do this? And you know, I think the most fun we had was just sort of doing this sort of 10-page treatment before we went off and did our bits, was just all these ideas that just, and we were just sort of thought, you know what, it just seemed to come together really, really nicely. What does tend to make it horror is having vulnerable characters. And I think bringing the sort of the vulnerability into it, perhaps, you know, for me, makes it very exciting. And, you know, I mean, you know, maybe it does skirt a little bit of horror. You know, there's sort of the crazy fire festival going on at the end. That was a sort of based on a fire festival I used to see every spring for 3 years at Napier University up in Edinburgh. And it was just crazy, you know, just people painted red, fire, flame, everything. And I was like, you know what, we've got to get this in a movie somewhere, somehow. My younger brother and I had done several mountaineering trips to Snowdonia in North Wales, and it was actually during a trip scaling the east face of Trevan that this rope started to get caught around my brother's leg. And we noticed, you know what, if we were on, you know, this could actually be a good catalyst for an accident here. And, you know, it was never going to create one, but we were starting to, and we, you know, and initially, so sort of being up there, we were initially, you know, going to do a low altitude, sort of just a rock climb opening. So from going out and studying all these locations and getting high up into the mountains, you know, which is, you know, we knew it was going to be the producers were going to groan, but we were like, no, we want to go up. We had Melissa and Ed Spaliers and Alec Newman. They were, I mean, to be fair to them, they were doing abseils of up to sort of 40, 45 feet. You know, I mean, you know, decent vertical abseils, and sometimes with hundreds of feet further down the mountain and stuff. And, you know, watching Ed Spaliers' face before some of his takes was hilarious. I mean, he got with it, but he wasn't, you know, he was scared. But, you know, what is it? Courage is actually doing something when you're scared, isn't it? As opposed to just not being scared. I don't think I'm finished in the mountains. I definitely think I would like to do another film, you know, that maybe involves the mountains in some way. Maybe the story of Mallory going up Everest in 1924. I'd love to do that, and I think that would be something that you could do in 3D as well. But we shall see.